Hi there! In this video I'm going to take you through setting up a new dashboard in Callation. Before we begin, the idea behind our dashboards is to give you close to real-time visibility of how calls are tracking within your business over the recent period. This is distinctly different to the general reporting section, where you can be more selective in your reporting windows, and will be covered in another video. Within the dashboards, you can display a variety of different stats on the one screen, which automatically update every 30 seconds, making them a great option for wallboards, or opening up for a quick snapshot view. The first time you log into the platform, you will be presented with a screen similar to this, displaying one of our 3 default dashboard templates. To switch between dashboards, or create your own customized dashboard, you can click the switcher button here. The 3 default dashboards are Company Overview, which will give high-level overview statistics across the entire system. Extension Performance, which will show each configured extension stats for the current week. And Group Performance, which will show stats for configured ring groups, hunt groups, and queues for the current week. You can select the dashboard you want to display by clicking it, or if you want to add a new one, simply click the Add Dashboard button. Enter a name for the dashboard where prompted, and click Add. Your new dashboard will then be displayed with the default layout. To choose what to display in a cell, click the plus icon within that cell. You can then choose a widget from the list shown, to define what information you want to display within that cell. Most of the options here will have an equivalent in the Reports section, but there are a few that are specific to dashboards only. Once you select an option, you will be presented with a secondary window to enter more specific selections about what you want to see. Depending on the widget chosen, the additional options will differ. Here I will select Extension Summary, and am presented with the options specific to this report type, including any filters I would like to use to tailor the display. Time Period will allow me to select the window I want to report on. In this example I will select This Week, which will display data from midnight on Monday, through to now. Extension Filters let us configure which extensions to display data for. You will always have an All Extensions option, but additional filters can be created by administrators within the configuration area. Here I will select Accounts Group, which has been pre-configured ahead of time. Group filters are similar to extension filters, but are used to filter which group numbers we are interested in displaying data for. In this example, we might only be interested in group calls if they came into one of the accounts groups. As such, using the accounts groups filter would exclude calls answered for other group numbers, such as a reception overflow. Here we will leave the filter as All Groups, which will include all group calls the user handled. Trunk filters aren't regularly used, but can be applied if you have 2 or more sets of lines coming into your system, and you only want to see call stats associated with one particular provider. We will leave this, and all other options set as default, and click Add. Once we click Add, the dashboard display will update, and show the information we selected, along with a heading at the top, detailing the widget type, any filters applied, and options configured. Now I will add 2 more widgets, following the same process as before, but this time I will add some chart-based widgets. As before, I will click the plus icon in an empty cell. Then select the widget I want to display. This time, I will select Group Call Handling. For Group Call Handling, I will select This Week as the time period, and as this widget looks at how calls are handled for a specific group number, I need to select the group of interest. Here I will select the accounts ring group. I also have the option to use a pie chart, or a bar chart. I will choose pie chart for this example, and then click Add. Once again, the dashboard display will update, and I can configure the 3rd widget. For something different, I'm going to select Trunk Utilization, to show how many concurrent phone lines have been in use through the day. Here, I will leave all options as default, and click Add. Once again the dashboard display will update, and show the selected widget. For most chart-based widgets, the charts themselves are interactive. You can turn elements off and back on in the case of the pie chart, and in the utilization graph, you can zoom in or out on different time periods, with either the mouse wheel, or by clicking and dragging across an area. To modify any widget, you can click the three-dot menu, in the corner of that cell, and either delete the widget and go through the process of setting up a new one, or click Edit, and change the parameters originally configured. As an example, I will change group call handling from a pie chart to a bar chart. Then click Save. Back at the top of the dashboard page, you may have noticed the Options button, at the top right. Under this menu there are several options. The first is Clone, which will create a copy of the current dashboard. When selected, you will need to enter a name for your new dashboard, and on completion will be taken to the copy, to allow for editing as needed. Second is Share. Sharing provides read-only access to the current dashboard, without allowing access to any other areas of the system. This can be useful, particularly if you set up a dashboard for a department, and want to give staff within that department some level of visibility in how they are performing. When you click the Share button, you will be provided a short URL that you can copy to clipboard and pass on to anyone requiring access. There are also options to disable or re-enable the sharing link, plus an option to enable a password that would need to be entered prior to anyone with the link being able to view the dashboard. Next we have Edit. Within this mode, we can rename the dashboard or change the layout. When selecting the Layout button, you can then choose from the options as to the number of cells and their positioning from the list. Changing the layout will immediately show you a preview below on how the new layout will look. Click Save to accept the changes, or the X button to cancel out. In this case, I will click Save. Jumping ahead in the menu is the Auto Scroll option. This is also an option in Edit mode, and will allow tables to automatically cycle through data in larger data sets. As you can see here, there is a horizontal scroll on the extension Summary widget, due to the number of columns on this table. To be able to see more columns on the screen, I can retract the menu by clicking here, but it still isn't quite enough to see all the columns. If I enable Auto Scroll, you will see that the system will automatically cycle through the table, left to right and top to bottom. If I hover my mouse over any line in the table, the data will stop scrolling, and I can manually cycle through the data. If I move the mouse cursor off the table, Auto Scroll resumes again. To disable it, I can just select Auto Scroll from the Options menu again, and confirm. The remaining items in the Options menu are Delete, Default, and Full Screen. The Delete option, as you might expect, will delete the current dashboard. Default will make this the default dashboard to display when accessing the dashboards area. Full Screen will put the dashboard in full screen mode, which can be quite useful in wallboarding applications, particularly when used in conjunction with the Auto Scroll option. Hopefully that gives you a good insight into using our dashboards. Thanks for your time, and please feel free to check out our other training videos.